Welcome to our final video in our online course, Love Reaches Out, Outreaching Growth in a Time of Change with the UU Leadership Online Institute. And I'm one of your hosts, Carrie McDonald.
And I'm Sarah Gibb Millspa.
And we're here to give you a couple of wrap-up thoughts and wish you good luck on your journey for doing better outreach in your congregations and your communities. It's been such a privilege and a pleasure getting to know some of you through this course, through the comments and the contact that we've had with you. And we've hoped that you'll find a whole lot to improve the way that you think about outreach and the things that you do this week, this month, this year, and in years to come in your congregation.
So let's summarize where we've been together in this course. First, we recognize the sea change that's been happening in American religion and how fewer and fewer people are just simply seeking out religious communities in the way that they used to. So we can't wait for them to find us. We have to reach out. We have to learn to think in new ways and to act in new ways. And you join us in this. You look at trends in your community and in your own congregation, and look to building a foundation for outreach based in those trends, one that's rooted in the realities of your time and your place.
And so, looking at those changing realities, a great place to start is by putting on your outreach glasses and trying to understand what your congregation and the work that you're doing looks like from an outsider's perspective. Getting outside our own perspective isn't easy, but we use some tools like user experience to get into the true reality of how our congregation is experienced by visitors, and even more importantly by folks before they ever show up on a Sunday, by what they see out in the community and by what they see online. To shape that experience, your congregation can develop a deeper, clearer personality, which is your style and how you want people to experience you, and make sure that that style is clear throughout your online presence and your in-person presence. And you can also get clearer on who you want that style, that personality to speak to by using the persona development tool to put a name and a face to the audience groups in your community that you do great ministry with and want to reach out to.
And in the next module, when we gathered back together in the outreach course, we developed a better understanding of the congregation's personality and those key audiences that we were trying to reach. We looked at the experience that visitors have and our overall branding and communications. Again, our brand is not who we say we are. Our brand is who you say we are. We looked at how our brand shows up both in person and in our promotional materials. And here it's important to align our signals so that everything we do or don't do says something about who we are, what we do, and why it matters. The good news is that you don't have to start from scratch in this, and that the UUA has lots of tools for you to use. We want UU congregations to show up as bold and compassionate and reverent congregations that are lifting up what matters most in life.
So some of the most important places to show up are online, and that's websites and social media primarily. Your website really is your front door. If you're doing great stuff out in your community and you get picked up by the local newspaper, what's the first thing someone's going to do? They're going to Google you. They're going to look at your website. They might check you out on Facebook. So you want to make sure that from that first experience online, that's really representing the great work that's going on inside your congregation. Too often that is not true with congregational websites, I'm sad to say. We here also have some tools to make this easier for you, especially including the UUA's WordPress theme, which is a website template using the WordPress platform that has all kinds of great content and suggestions built into it. And with social media, you are always going to want to remember that social media is fundamentally social. It's about building relationships or building engagement. It's not just a message board. So you want to find things that are going to encourage people to share. You want to use hashtags, which is like joining an existing conversation and adding a UU perspective. You want to make sure that you're keeping current with whatever it is that people are talking about so that you can add the UU perspective or your congregation's perspective to that as a way for people to start to get to know what you're about.
We talked about what you do when you know who you want to reach. You need to decide how you're going to do it. And you want to do that by creating entry points for new people to engage with you. And in doing that, you work on creating a relationship between your congregation and people who might not otherwise be in relationship with you. And you can do this through events that are catered to the needs and the desires of the audience that you are trying to reach, that brings them into relationship, even if they're not specifically looking for a religious home at this point in their lives. This is where the rubber meets the road. It leverages all that communications and experience work that you've been doing to really connect with the audience that you're trying to seek. We also talk about using a design thinking approach to find that sweet spot, that place where you follow the energy in your congregation, the energy in your community, and it comes together. Have it come from the core of who you are, from your mission, your vision. Have it not be just something that is extraneous. It needs to be genuine. It needs to be core to you. And that when you do have those entry points events, to always have a next ask, a next thing to invite people to, another way to carry that energy and relationship forward.
And finally, we looked in the wider world of creative, innovative, and emerging ministries in Unitarian Universalism that are reaching new audiences, folks who didn't just have an entry point opportunity or an event, but took it the next step of reimagining their entire way of relating in faith community that might appeal to a different audience. And we talked through some of the ways that it's important to approach those kinds of projects and start small and be willing to risk something and fail quickly and learn a lot, right? And we did that with our colleague Annie and Elizabeth, and it was great to hear their wisdom. And hopefully some of those stories have inspired you in your congregation's path forward. Okay, I think we summarized our whole 6 modules in 6 minutes or less. But I want to close just by saying that this really is about relationship, and that taking that relationship seriously starts with people who are just beginning to get to know you. And we've said this time and time again, but that relationship means that you have to understand how the folks that you're trying to be in relationship with, that you're trying to engage, how they see and experience you, and then adjust your congregation's way of communicating, the way of behaving, way of relating, to respect that and to honor that and to further that based on the feedback you're getting from that audience. And that's not a one-time thing, that's an ongoing process.
Indeed it is. We wish you the best in that process. We hope that this course has really fortified your hopes, your wishes to reach out, and given you some new and exciting ways to do it. So thank you for journeying with us.
Don't be a stranger. Feel free to drop us a line at outreach@uua.org if you have questions or thoughts or just great stories that you want to share. We love those too, and we love to share them on social media and in the blogosphere. So may you have a great time spreading the saving, wonderful message of Unitarian Universalism. See ya.
Bye.